Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. If you've been paying attention to a lot of the lawsuits lately that are being battled in the courts regarding our constitutional rights, you're probably aware that the Second Amendment Foundation has been spearheading a lot of challenges against red flag laws. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, are red flag laws something that should really be at the top of our list of things we need to fight? Are they even gun-specific laws? Well, they are not actually gun laws. They're supposedly mental health laws, self-protection laws, etc. But what are they used for? They're used to take people's guns away. Anytime someone doesn't like the fact that someone they don't agree with has guns, all they got to do is say, hey, I think they're a danger to themselves and others, and that gives police the right to go in and seize their guns. That's what they're being used for. And it's so ridiculous. On its face, red flag laws are blatantly dishonest. Because here's the thing. If someone actually is a danger to themselves, taking their guns away doesn't make them safe now. There's all kinds of ways to end your own life or harm yourself. And here's the thing. If someone was on the verge of self-harm, they're paranoid, they're depressed, whatever, and you go in and say, hey, we don't trust you, we're taking your property, we're persecuting you, you might push them over the edge to where they do harm themselves. So from a psychological standpoint, these laws are dangerous to people who are at risk. That's not how you deal with at-risk people. You don't storm in their house and take their property and tell them they're somehow unworthy. That's not how you deal with that at all. That's dangerous. So that whole notion that you're protecting them, it's garbage. Plus, should the government even have the right to protect you from yourself? I'm not a fan of suicide, of course, but if someone else decides they want to do that and they're not completely insane, let's say they're in pain because of a chronic condition, or they're suffering from mental illness that can't be fixed and they're tired of life. I don't support suicide, but I also don't think the government has the right to step in on that. I think Norm Macdonald does a perfect routine on this when he says when someone commits suicide, people are like, oh, I can't understand why they would do that. And he's like, you don't? He's like, what do you not know about life? About how it's one constant string of disappointment and challenge and, upsetting event after another that ends in misery and pain. Basically, and I'm paraphrasing him there. It's funnier when he says it. So, I don't think the government even has the right to do that, but like I said, even if they did, that's not how you go about it. Also, they say, well, they might be a threat to others. A threat to others. Well, taking away their guns doesn't make them not a threat to others either. In fact, it might make them more inclined to go harm others if they're trying to make a political point, or if they feel like they're being persecuted and everybody else is the enemy. Storm in their house, take their guns, you might push them into an act. And here's the thing, they go take their guns. I don't think they seize their cars. I haven't seen that very often. They don't make it to where they don't have access to gasoline and oily rags. They don't make it to where, hey, you can't go buy a knife or sharpen a stick. They don't do any of that. They're not worried about that person acting out on someone else. The whole point of red flag laws is to take away people's guns. And it is probably the biggest issue we face right now. We should be fighting that issue tooth and nail. It should be at the top of our lists. We can fight more than one battle at a time. I get tired of these organizations fighting the profitable battles, like for bump stocks and pistol braces, things like that. But this is a fight that should be being fought, and I applaud the Second Amendment Foundation for realizing that. Because not only is it a direct attack on gun rights, and not only is it a tool just to remove guns from people who haven't done anything wrong, it's a direct deletion of due process. It's legally taking away your right to due process. If they said these laws could stand, and if they say they're legal, then they're basically just legally taking away your due process rights. That's not constitutional. Anything that removes your individual constitutional rights should not stand. It is a direct threat to freedom and the Constitution. Red flag laws are heinous attacks on your rights, not just your gun rights, but a whole litany of your rights. You're being persecuted and convicted basically for no reason, without due process. So yes, this should be the fight we're fighting. We should continue fighting this fight. And I applaud them for doing it because this is important. I know it doesn't seem like it's a direct gun law, but most people recognize that that's what it's used for, to take people's guns away. Also, it does so without due process, like I just said. And like I said, on its face, it makes no sense. This is not how you would behave with an at-risk person to protect them or to protect others from them. And if you really thought they were dangerous to themselves or others, you'd take away their access to anything that they could harm themselves or others with. And they know they can't do that. It's not even possible. But they don't care because that's not what they're after. They're just after the guns. Once they get the guns, they consider their job complete because that is their goal. It's the goal of law enforcement and these politicians to disarm anyone that disagrees with them. So all they got to say is that person's crazy because he disagrees with me. He's a danger to himself and others. And now they've got a legal process to go disarm you. And then maybe they can raid your house next week after they know you're disarmed. You know, and I'm going down a little slippery slope here, but you understand what I'm talking about. So I think red flag laws are one of the biggest challenges we're facing right now. One of the biggest attacks on not just our gun rights, but our rights, period. So red flag laws have to go. And I applaud the Second Amendment Foundation for putting that at the top of their list of things they need to do. All right, everybody, before I go, I want to remind everyone you've got like 5 or 6 days to go over and put in your application for TYM Triple P. The cutoff is the 31st for this month. And if you do it after that, if you do it the 1st, you'll be in next month's actual drawing. So get over there by the 31st, before midnight on the 31st, and get your entry in if you want to be a recipient of TYM Triple P, if you want to have a chance at being a recipient of TYM Triple P this coming month. So go over, like I said, register. There's a place on the website over there at tympistolproject.com. There's a link in the upper corner of this video. Also, while you're over there, there is a new t-shirt over there if you would want it. I did this because someone requested it. And it is the "Does This Gun Make Me Look Crazy" shirt. It says, "Be honest with me. Does this gun make me look crazy?" And it's a picture I used on one of my videos a long time ago, and people have been telling me, "Hey, I want that on a shirt. I want that on a shirt." So I did it. So if you want that while you're over there, if you want to support TYM Triple P, if you're someone that doesn't need to benefit from it, but you'd like to support it, buy any merch that's over there, including this new shirt, and that supports TYM Triple P, or become a starlet over on subscribestar.com/Yankee Marshall. I'll put a link in the upper corner of this video to that too. So go on over and register if you think you could be a beneficiary and you think you could benefit from TYM Triple P. And if you want to support this program, the only program of its kind in this country that I know of, go on over there, buy yourself some merch, or become a Subscribe Star member. And I'll say thank you in advance here. We're helping a lot of people, and you guys that help out funding it are the ones that make it possible. And with that, I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope to see you again on Monday. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe till I see you again.